Hello there, it's Kate again. I'm back with having tried a bunch of those teas to kind of share my thoughts on them, and what I tried, what I liked, what kind of flavor things there were happening in with them. So I will start with these guys over here. So I tried the Rosé All Day. This one I sweetened even when I drank it hot. It was good, hot or cold. I did have this one over cold water as well. First I tried it hot, then I also had it cold with some sparkling water, and it was nice and refreshing. It was okay. It wasn't something that that super stood out for me that I would want to, I'm rushing out to get more of, but it was good. It did this really different thing when I put it in and I poured the water over it. A lot of teas will start to immediately diffuse color through the whole cup. This one didn't. It just kind of oozed, like it was bleeding out of the bottom, and it was like blood red, which actually was kind of cool. It had a very, very deep, vibrant blood red color. But it was good. I did find I did need to sweeten it, which is very unusual because normally I don't sweeten my teas at all. But yeah, it was okay. Like I said, not great, but not bad. And then I also tried this guy. This is Caribbean Crush, right? Yes, Caribbean Crush. It had kind of a caramel note to it, which was different. I wasn't expecting that. But it had... it was pink, but much lighter color. I didn't need to sweeten this one, and mostly I tried this one hot. I didn't put it in any kind of cold application. I'm pretty sure I finished it before it got terribly cold. It was floral and fruity, but the caramel was definitely still there all along while drinking it. It was mild, kind of warm in flavor. I did like it. Not one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't live without this one. But it was good. And I would definitely drink it again. With these ones, I know these packages are supposed to do 1 cup, but I find that there's a little bit much for one, so I tend to split them so that I can get 2 infusions out of them. And I found that for the most part, they still gave me really good, strong, solid flavor out of them. And the one that didn't, I will get to in a minute. I also tried the sparkling sangria. When I made... sort of a note relating to this one, but not. When I made the rosé, I actually thought after I had put it in that it was the sangria because it was sangria colored. This one, though, is a little bit lighter even than the rosé, so I was expecting the color to be a little bit darker, but that wasn't bad. It was fruity, it was nice and light. By the time I finished it, it was cold, so I drank it hot, but I did get the taste of it when it was cold. I liked it both ways. It wasn't something that got really overpowering when it got kind of cool and to the bottom of the cup. It was still nice and easy to drink, so that was good. It wasn't something that really stood out for me. Not something I'd be disappointed to try again. I will finish it. It's not something I'm like, oh, put that away or don't touch that again. But yeah, it was good. I didn't have to sweeten it. I think even cold it was sweet enough, so that was also kind of nice. I didn't sweeten the Caribbean Crush either, but I might sweeten that one if I was having it, if I was going to have it cold. So I'm also going to stop here because I had mentioned that the one that was kind of scaring me a little bit was the Kahlua one. Well, not the Kahlua one. It's the Mudslide one that kind of smells like Kahlua. So I'm actually going to try that one here, hot, for the first time. So I was just taking the tea bag out because it's been steeping here. So I'll put that there aside and we'll get back to it. And I'm using the coaster too. Other ones that were from this kind of really fresh, summery one that I tried. The sour watermelon. So the sour watermelon, this is probably the only one that may have suffered from the fact, that I split it in half. I found this one had a really, really light flavor, so it might have been better or stronger flavored if I had used the whole thing or if I'd steeped it longer. But I steeped it like I normally would for a fruit infusion. Used the same amount as I normally would. It just didn't have a really strong flavor to it. It was really, really mild. I had just put on some hand cream, so I'm wondering if maybe that might have affected the fact that I wasn't smelling it very strongly. But even after that had happened and I was well into the cup, I still didn't get a big hit off of the smell, and the flavor was really mild. It did get a little bit stronger as I got towards the bottom of the cup. It might have, when it was cool, it was a little bit stronger than when it was really hot. There's definitely a watermelon flavor to it, but I didn't find it sour, which I actually was kind of disappointed by because I like sour. So when I had seen they had sour watermelon, I get super excited thinking it would be really sour and watermelony. But in the end, it was mostly just like very mild watermelon flavor. And I apologize, the neighbor just started mowing his lawn. I do think this would be really good in like a cucumber water or like an infused water, like iced water with maybe some chunks of fruit in it. This would give it a really nice undertone that would be a little different than just a plain water, but I didn't really find it did anything for me. And I feel like I'd need to make it really strong and really sweet to make a decent iced tea out of it. The other one that I did try was this one, Just Peachy. So the Just Peachy, it smells like those fuzzy peach candies, kind of tastes like them. I wasn't sure as I was drinking it whether I found that was like a little too chemically or whether it wasn't. This one was one of those ones that just kind of the whole time was just not sure what I thought of it. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't really sure whether I was super crazy about it. It's a bit more savory, almost smoky in flavor at times. It definitely sweetened towards the bottom of the cup. I didn't add sweetness to it, and I did drink it hot. And I did finish it when it was still pretty warm. I'm really not so sure about that one. So if I had to rate these 5 here, I would say that the Sparkling Sangria was my favorite. Then the Caribbean Crush, followed by Rosé All Day, then the peach one, then the the watermelon. The only one I was really disappointed in was the sour watermelon, and it didn't taste bad. I was looking for more sour and more watermelon out of it. I will try it again. I still have half of it, and maybe I'll try steeping it longer and see if that makes a difference. And I might even try sweetening it, just again to see if that makes a difference to it. But this one is kind of a pass for me. The peachy one, still not so sure about. Again, I will finish it off and see. And none of these were ones where I'm like, I'm not even going to finish that. They were all drinkable, but just not, exactly my biggest excitement. To be fair, I'm definitely more of a like a cinnamon, fall, apple, lemon pound cake kind of flavors are more my thing rather than the really bright, light, fruity ones. But I did enjoy several of these, and yeah, on top of the fact that I had already mentioned that I liked both the Appletini and the raspberry mojito one a lot, especially the raspberry mojito one. So of the tin ones, I actually liked pretty much all of them, and we're about to try the Mudslide one. But the other 4 were all really good. They said probably the raspberry mojitos one is the only one that I'm super excited to make sure that I have more of. But the rest of them are all ones that if I was just sort of reaching into a tea bin and going, okay, what am I having today? I wouldn't be disappointed or unhappy to go, okay, I'll drink that. So that was my thoughts on those ones. So we will give this one a try. So I'm just going to put the lid. So I'm using my little color changing. It's ice cream. That's what's on the outside. Oh my gosh. Ice cream mug. It definitely still has a really strong like coffee and chocolate flavor or smell to it. It also has a little bit of like a caramel note to it. In terms of, I'm going to see if, can I do this without spilling it? Probably not. I'm not even going to try. Try it again. So this is hot. So you can actually see a little bit of the steam coming off. It's definitely, you can taste the coffee flavor there. It is sweet as well. It's not super chocolatey. It's definitely more sort of coffee and then maybe like sweet milk kind of flavor to it. So it is very Mudslide. It definitely has a Mudslide vibe to it. I keep calling it the Kahlua tea, but there is no alcohol in it, and it isn't branded by Kahlua. It just smells like it should be. Yeah, not bad. I would say it almost would be more of a I'm in the mood for hot chocolate kind of tea than like a summertime cocktaily type one. I don't know that I would do it cold, but then I am not a fan of like iced hot chocolates or iced cappuccinos or anything like that. That's not something I enjoy. So if you like those things, this is, I mean, it tastes like it smells. It really does taste like a Mudslide. Smells like a Mudslide, kind of that's what it smells like, that's what it tastes like. So if you really enjoy that, this is probably going to be one you really like. It's kind of an iffy one for me, but I could definitely see holding onto this one, and then in the winter, being able to pull it out. It's kind of a hot chocolate replacement, because it definitely does have, kind of hit some of those same notes. But not bad, but not one that I think I'm going to be pulling out much this time of year. So those are my thoughts on these ones. I still do have a few others here to finish up. There were 2 more in the little pouch that I had that had these guys in it. They're all just like kind of individual, or in my case, 2 cup ones. There's 2 more of these, the Cocoa Colada and the Electric Lemonade, which I will also give a try. I have drunk Electric Lemonade before. I like it. That's definitely more my kind of summer flavor. So I expect that one wasn't really worth doing a big tube out. But I will try the other ones, and yeah. So those are my thoughts. Would love to hear about what you think about these ones. Have you tried them? How did they work for you? Anyone who tried the sour watermelon and has tips on how to get more flavor out of that one? And what are your favorite sort of summertime tea flavors, best way to prepare them, that kind of thing. And, you know, where do you stand on the whole hot, cold, iced place? I definitely am much more of a drink it just the way it is, drink it hot, than sweetening it or making it cold. So those aren't my main ways of doing it, but where do you stand, and any suggestions of other ones I should try? So cheers!